Okay, we are now rolling. We are live to ourselves.
Yeah.
Technically not live to you because you're watching this on YouTube, but we're talking about TUF live, season 15 of The Ultimate Fighter.
Yep.
What episode are we up to? 10?
Number 10 now.
Episode 10. Double digits, bitch.
So not many left. How
Yeah,
many are
yeah.
left in the whole season? I don't know. What is it? For 14 episodes?
Well, they've only got two fights left. Is
And
that
then
right?
no, and then
That's
there's
it,
the
isn't it?
semi-finals. No, it's all
Oh, yeah,
one
because
weight.
they're all the same. They're all
It's
the
all
same
one
weight,
weight
aren't they?
class. Yeah, so they are
Yeah,
looking
sorry.
for just two people then.
Got confused. Thought
So
it
it's
was
probably
two.
another two. No, about 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks
Yeah,
max. I would have thought.
yeah, we should be good. Before we get going, we like to consider ourselves an interactive show. You know, it's all about you guys, the viewers. So someone's given us a little bit of feedback this week. A nice comment from Rizzo says, "Aha."
Aha!
Don't know if you're an Adam
Is
Parsons
how that
fan.
is how that's meant to be pronounced.
Exactly. Um, yeah, basically, we were giving Mike Rio a little bit of a hard time last week. I think
I especially
for
was.
me, for me, it wasn't anything personal about him. It's more the fact that he was very much a one-dimensional wrestler,
Yeah.
and as a fan, as a viewer, I'm not really into the wrestling style.
No.
But and I think the main complaint about wrestlers is they don't finish fights generally. It's more just domination points
Yeah.
or whatever.
And position. Yeah.
As Rizzo says, aha, pointed out. According to his record, he had actually finished every one of his 8 victories that he'd had leading up to this series. So, yeah, I mean, fair enough. Obviously, I hadn't seen any of his fights in the past, so I can only go off what I've seen, you know, on the show and what he's kind of put across himself. Armbarring Justin Lawrence in training doesn't count. I'm sorry. I know
Yeah,
you
I'm not having
mentioned
that at all. No,
That's, um,
that should
but,
not be the basis for anything.
but really, yeah. From my point of view, my main complaint wasn't really about Mike Rio as such. More at that I'm not a fan of people who use wrestling a bit too much. Serb, on the other hand, seemed to have a problem with his voice as well.
Yeah, I also didn't like him
Yeah,
as a person.
taking things out on him a bit.
I thought he's a bitch, pushing about his knee, kept going on and on. He was just annoying. I didn't like him at all.
Fair enough. So there's our reply to you, Rizzo. With that, but I think you made a good point. But at the
No.
same time, fuck Mike Rio. Anyway, so back to the show.
Yeah,
Um,
this week,
yes.
the
So
first.
bit of bad news.
Oh yeah, that was it. The bad news. Oh
Bit of
God.
news. We actually broke that news last week on the
Yes, we
show.
did. We did.
Yeah.
We're that late. We're that
Yeah.
late.
No, we're that early. We're a week early.
No, but we, as in like Tough Live happened, and then we taped our show like 4 days later or something, 5 days later. And by that
Uh,
point, it's like, okay, some new news has happened, and we're just breaking it. But Tough Live was 5 days ago.
no, hang on. We on the show before this one, which was before the episode where Dana announced Dominic Cruz's knee was busted. We'd
Oh
al-
yes. Sorry,
we'd al-
yeah. It just happened. Yeah.
yeah. So don't discredit our journalism there. Yeah,
Our
We-
input into the MMA community.
exactly. Um, so yeah, it was a bit of a shame. Dana said he got to stay, which
Yeah, they were well
is
happy
good.
about that.
You
The
could
team.
tell- yeah, you
'Cause
could
not
tell
at
that
this
his
stage,
team.
man. Yeah.
You could tell his team genuinely like him, generally had his back. I mean,
Uh,
even Tickle, who's given a hard time to, was like, "Nah, we fucking want him to
yeah.
stay," which was nice. Yeah, it's pretty much the opposite of what happened when Tito got injured in his season against Chuck Liddell, and basically it was like, "You're injured, fuck off."
Yeah, but I
Like,
can't remember the
nobody wanted
team's
him.
the team's reaction. Like
I don't think it even got as far as the team. I think Dana White was like, "You're
he
injured."
was already
Get
out
off,
of the door, and
get off my
Rich Franklin was already there. Yeah,
Dana was like, "Yeah, fuck this,
yeah.
off you go."
See,
Dana, yeah.
thinking back now, I can see why Tito Ortiz was offended. It wasn't so much that he was fired. I think it was the way he was just whipped out straight away. Like, you need to get off the show now. If you're not
Yeah,
fighting, you're off right now. You've got no
right, yeah,
business being here.
exactly.
It was harsh.
Obviously, yeah. So probably a bit of the personal relationship between him and Dana might have come into that a bit.
Yeah.
Didn't realise it at the time, but then now looking at the way the Dominic Cruz one was handled,
Yeah. Now I'd be even more
it's
angry.
like, okay, right, yeah, see what happened there.
You know, when Dana announced the news, now I don't know if it's just me because I do like hating on Faber a little bit, but it looked like he cracked a tiny little smile for about a millisecond when he just announced it, because there was a part of him that was just like, yeah, I hate you and I'm glad you're in pain.
Yeah. In fact, speaking of hating on Faber, he then afterwards went up to Dominic Cruz and said, "I'm going to start a rumor that Ronda Rousey
did it, yeah.
And it's like, I didn't quite understand why he'd want to do that. I mean, because that has actually then spread out into, that's been on the internet.
Oh, has it? No.
I read an interview with Dominic Cruz today, and he was like, "Can I please put an end to this bullshit that Faber's been spreading around?" Like, he has actually gone out and actively spread this rumor.
Oh my God.
It's like, first of all, that's not particularly funny.
Yeah.
And secondly, I think MMA fans, they wouldn't go, yeah, you got your knee done by a girl, because I think everyone pretty much knows she's a bad bitch.
Yeah,
like,
she's
she
legit.
trains with the Diaz brothers.
Exactly.
And she's been on the show.
Yeah.
Flipping the contestants all over the place.
Yeah, just throwing men around. Come on, man. How many women can just throw men around? Like, can you imagine that?
It's not even like it really undermines him to say she did.
Yeah.
It's just a weird thing. It's very strange how, coming into this series, I was definitely much more of a
pro Faber
fan than a Cruz fan.
I think a lot of people were.
Completely flipped on its head. Faber actually seems like a bit of a douche, to be honest.
He does at times. He's really a little bit like, he's a little bit unaware of himself, I find. Whereas you don't get none of that in Cruz. He's like, and I think Joe Rogan was talking about on his podcast recently, saying like fighting is intelligent, and if you're a bit of a dummy in life, then you're going to fight that way as well. Whereas if you're just an intelligent guy, you fight intelligently as well, and that's kind of what happens between Cruz and Faber. Like,
right?
Even in their fight, you can tell.
Yeah, that's a good observation, right? Yeah, but I mean, I can't say I fully dislike the guy, because first of all, I don't even know him. I mean, editing can fuck you up as well in these.
I know, but it's not hate. It's never hatred towards Faber. It's more just like,
it's more like, come on, man.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but
it's like he says something and you go, come on.
Oh, come on, that's just silly. Stop being a silly little boy.
Just think about what you're gonna say.
That's it. Yeah.
Just take that split second to think, right, is this a good thing to say?
Yeah, and like when he did that prank, like I would have really, if I was his mate, I would have questioned him after that, saying, like, what were you trying to achieve there? Because like, it just, something didn't add up.
Because he's not really a malicious guy.
No.
Just a bit of a dumbass, I think.
Yeah,
I
That bit on the sofa sums it up for him, where he was just completely unaware of how much he was annoying Cruz.
Yeah.
If someone's sitting next to me doing this, I would pick up on it, but not him. He was just like,
tunnel vision, like whatever.
So
I guess if you're that confident in yourself and sort of that happy with life, you might just not give a fuck.
Yeah.
He just doesn't care. It's just like whatever.
It's fairly harmless for my hatred towards Faber. It's fairly harmless.
But as we've said before, though, on a show like this, it is kind of fun to pick sides and just generally hate on someone for no good reason.
But who do you think Faber's going to fight now? Because he's going to announce it next week, on TUF Live on the next episode. Which will be probably tomorrow. Yeah, in America.
From when this is released. Well, the three main names that have been circulated are Henan Barral.
You're right.
Michael McDonald.
Yeah.
And Ivan Menjivar.
Okay.
I think all three of them probably are in with a decent shout. I'd like to see Henan Barral. I
was about to say, if I had to put them in order, it'd be Henan Barral, Menjivar, McDonald.
Yeah, I mean, Menjivar, look, he's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah,
I've liked the look of him in his fights, but
this fight's lost so much meaning, though, man. Oh, I can't get over it, actually. Now that I think about it, what we're going to see and what we're about to see, fucking hell, man, that's a big loss for MMA fans.
It is big time, yeah. I mean, it's been tough lately as well, because I felt the same with Overeem Dos Santos.
Yeah, we got robbed again, and at the end of last year as well, we were getting robbed of a few fights.
Now, Dos Santos Mir is actually, I think, going to be a pretty fucking good fight.
It'll be interesting, very interesting. It
doesn't carry that same weight as Overeem Mir, but I think Henan Brow's ready for the test. I'd like to see.
Definitely, man.
I'd like to see just how good he is.
Right, what's his? He's 28-0
And one.
and 1. Right, that was his first ever fight.
His first ever fight, and
Right,
they say that it was kind of a lack of cross training. Like he was very much a striker.
Whatever, man. If you lose your first fight and win your next 28, the first one shouldn't even count.
Yeah, so let you have that.
Yeah, yeah.
A warm-up fight.
Yeah, I was just stretching.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be good. I would like to see that. Because actually, no, that would be an interesting fight in that it will be a very, very good test for Henan Barral. Like, you can't get much better than having to fight Uriah Faber.
Exactly. And it will let us know what he's really made of.
What's that record? How strong is that record, that 28-0? What were those 28 like?
But he's only had 2 in the UFC. I think that's where Ivan Menjivar might be a little bit... Technically, he's kind of earned it.
Yeah, he's had more wins in the UFC. And he's finished. They're both finishers, aren't they? They both finished their fights.
Barral's, he's finished one, and the other was a decision.
Pointed the other
His second one, he still looked fairly dominant, but it wasn't as flashy as the first time. But
yeah.
And interestingly, if he won, we would then have how many Brazilian champions?
Oh, bloody hell.
It'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
Over half.
They're taking over, man.
I think it would be four.
So I'd like to see it for that as well. But personally, I'd like to see Barral. McDonald, I think...
Bit early for him. He looked good, but...
He's got a shout. I mean, he looked very good in his last fight, but it's a bit soon, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the only way I've noticed him. I haven't noticed him for anything else other than that last fight he had.
Yeah. When he banged out... Was it Miguel Torres?
Miguel Torres, yeah. Sparked him hard.
He did.
Like that's one of those times I was worried for the guy. It's like, shit, you're gonna be right.
So cold.
Yeah. Like, that might be a broken jaw or something.
Yeah, or broken brain. But yeah, that. As far as the other 2 guys have probably been waiting a bit longer, you wouldn't want to see a turnaround. But to be honest, it's kind of irrelevant, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whoever they pick
doesn't
really matter. It's not a real belt yet, is it?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying Henan Barral, because I'd be most excited about that one.
Yeah. Because the potential there would be there for him
something to happen. Yeah.
So, speaking of fighting,
we should open every show like that.
I mean, this week it went straight to the fights, didn't it? No fat in this show.
There was a little bit of training. One observation about training, it's like, have you noticed, like, every time it's the fighter who's fighting that week, it feels like in training, it's all focused on him, but all the sparring that goes on, it's almost like the training partners have this thing in them, like mentally, it's like, okay, I can't really try my best against him, because A, I don't want to hurt him, and B, I guess I want to build his confidence up.
I think maybe a little bit more is that they're trying to, for the quality of the show, they're trying to sell the fight as much as possible.
Oh, you reckon they're told to do that then? Oh, there's just the editing.
Or maybe with the editing,
yeah.
Bits where they just look so much better. I don't know, because I've never actually trained MMA sparring wise, so I couldn't say.
It sort of makes sense that maybe you would, like, if it's that fighter's week, you would let him do his moves and practice certain things and just going through the motions.
You don't want to risk him getting injured either.
Yeah.
So maybe, you're probably right, actually.
But every time I see that, I just think, they're just building up, like, if anything, they should be going harder on them. So that, like that philosophy, if you train really fucking hard, the fight is nothing, kind of thing. It's like, I've had so much worse. And it never feels like they're doing that on Ultimate Fighter. But there's a lot at stake as well. And they are fighting, how many fights? Like, 3 fights in...
6 weeks?
6, no, maybe a bit longer than that, because it's a week, every week it's an episode. So for the whole series, it'd be like 14 weeks or something.
Yeah, on this one, but I think on the pre-recorded ones, they fight like every 3 days.
Oh, really? Bloody hell.
They do the whole lot in 6 weeks.
That's hard. That's hard, man. Fucking hell. Bearing in mind how often professional fighters fight now, and then to have to go through that's why it's so hard.
Each person doesn't have to fight every 3 days.
No.
There's a fight every...
Yeah. Although, having said that, I mean, when in the original UFCs, when they first started, you'd fight 3 times in a night. What?
That's bonkers. I can't even imagine.
How have we gone from guys fighting 3 times in a night, in one night, to like a fight every 9 months?
Yeah,
It's
it's
like only
crazy
over a few years it happened.
because they must have just gone, look,
This is silly.
this is
We
insane. Yeah,
can't survive as a company if we keep doing this.
I know
Like,
it's
there's not enough
insane.
fighters in the
Everyone
world.
everyone's gonna die. Um, because yeah, I mean, can you imagine as well? It just so happens like your first fight ends up being like a
Just
Shogun Henderson,
oh, fuck.
and then and then they're like, right, now you got another one. What would you
Can
do?
you imagine if fucking Shogun had to fight another? Oh, Henderson won. If he had to
Yeah,
fight another fight, he was being carried out of the octagon for fuck's sake.
yeah. I mean, even after because that was a 5 round fight at least, but even after the first three, you could tell they were both boxed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that was nuts. Whoever thought of that, man? Fucking that
It's just-
sadistic bastard.
they took the word ultimate too seriously back
Yeah,
then.
yeah, definitely. Holy shit. Um, yeah, so
Okay, right.
this is fine.
Yeah.
So the first one was James Vick
Yep.
versus Proctor.
Now Vic was pretty unknown quantity coming in, wasn't he? That was the big thing
Yeah,
about him.
I mean, he'd been a high-level boxer,
Yep. That's all we
won the
knew.
Golden Gloves, and then I think he was in a situation where he was trying to just start piecing,
Yeah.
adding other parts to his game.
I was
But
thinking he must have had a big advantage though, because his first fight was nothing. He literally kneed the guy and he was out. He took no
yeah,
hits.
yeah,
And then that was the very first week, so he's been resting all this
a lot
time
of
and
rest
learning.
and a lot of training.
A lot
Yeah,
of learning, yeah,
and you can tell from the coaches as well. I suppose because he has been a high-level athlete,
yeah.
you get that mentality of learning how to listen.
Yeah, yeah,
And they see it seems to be like they say he takes things on board very
yeah.
quickly, like when he's learning.
It's,
But
yeah, because you'd think like, as a boxer, you're coming in, it's like, well, you've got no legs, you've got no kicks if you've only ever trained boxing. So that's the
yeah,
bit you got to start learning. And he seems to have picked up the kicking. I mean, his first
kicking,
thing
yeah,
was a knee, for fuck's sake.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
threw quite a few kicks. But you could see as well, though, the boxing pedigree, where you could see he really knows how to control space.
yes, yes,
Like he
that
was,
was the big difference. Because I was thinking he's the lankier guy as well, isn't he?
yeah,
And
he was
if
using his reach
exactly,
advantage,
exactly,
cutting off the octagon.
yeah,
He was using footwork to get in and out of range.
yeah.
I mean, it was very Diaz-esque, I'd say, actually.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Not quite like
Diaz,
a rough version of it. Yeah,
they've got the much more, the jiu-jitsu and
yeah, yeah.
etc. And the because they're very boxing heavy as well in their style
Very.
with that pressure.
Yeah.
And
They
apparently, like
They
Nick
just
Diaz,
happen to have sick jiu-jitsu on top of that as well. Fuck.
that's all he's missing, man.
Yeah.
But that style, I think, will be perfect for James Vick if he can start bringing those other things in.
Yeah.
That because like I say, his footwork and stuff, and his using his reach, he was just picking him off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Proctor couldn't really get going. He couldn't really get near to him.
No, because he got close to him and he tried to take him down in that first round and failed.
Yeah,
And from that point, I was like, "That you know what? He's done, man. Proctor's
yeah,
done." Because like
yeah.
that's the only other thing he had to try. If
He,
you're losing it in the striking, you just got to try a takedown.
yeah, and he didn't look the same though. I mean, having looked so aggressive in his first fight,
Yeah.
he looked a
Maybe
lot more tentative.
it might have took something out of him that first fight. It was pretty harsh. Remember, he was getting
It
battered
was,
by Tickle.
it was, yeah.
Some heavy shots he was
And
taking.
also, I wonder as well, psychologically, if you see him Vic's first fight, the guy shot in,
Yeah.
got kneed in the face and knocked the fuck out. So does that make you think, right? I don't want to be too aggressive going in case he does that to me. You never know.
I think
He
it's
was
a bit of a stretch actually to call that a knee because having watched it back, it looked
It
more
was a
like
kick.
yeah, like a failed kick, like he doesn't know how to kick, or even felt like if someone's just coming to you and you automatically just go "Ugh," like that. It looked like one of them.
Just swung his leg, didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
The knee just happened to catch him.
Yeah,
on the chin. Yeah.
I'm not even sure he knew he threw it.
But sometimes you just need a little bit of luck like that to then
Yeah.
just give you that confidence to
Yeah,
then.
because like, how good does he look now? Then you
He
know
looked
what I mean?
really good. He looked really good, and I like the fact that he seems to have the right balance of confidence, but he's humble as well. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's not cocky after the
No,
fight.
not
He's
at all.
respectful,
Not at all.
but then he's not kind of over the top.
Yeah,
'Cause some people you can tell are a bit sort of fake humble or
yeah.
get a bit too like. It's all.
Because the cameras are there.
I don't want to say disrespectful, but it's almost like. I suppose it is a bit disrespectful, really. Of like when they're being too nice, it's almost like condescending. That's the
Right.
word.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Like, he's such a great fighter. He's awesome. Blah blah. blah. He said, yeah, right.
Yeah, 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 yeah. When it's not genuine, yeah. And there's no way you can learn that. It's just like that's just in you, man. Like if you're not genuinely feeling those things, don't bother trying to pretend because it will show.
Exactly. Yeah, people can see through that. But yeah, I'd say overall, Proctor never really got going. Vic just took him apart. He did. He got him down in the second round, and actually, fuck, I forgot about this. Had a bit of a guillotine on him, and it looked like Vic.
Yeah, it was a weird one, wasn't it? It was in a weird position.
It was a funny angle.
Yeah.
But then he toughed it out.
Yeah, and managed to turn it around. Yeah.
And then that was kind of it. That was.
See, that's another good thing about Vic. Okay, he's got the boxing. That's good. He's obviously learning a bit more of the kicking, and he's got good takedown defense as well.
Yeah.
And then on top, what was the last thing he just did now? Fucking hell, I just forgot.
Got out of the guillotine.
Right, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that he's tough as well.
Yeah,
he can just take a bit of punishment. And
he said,
he said after the fight as well, like, I would have passed out before I tapped, and I'm always a big fan of anyone who says that.
Yeah, and you could tell he meant it as well.
Yeah, of course. It's like, I think from that style choke, nothing's going to get broken, is it? You are just going to pass out eventually when you don't get enough air or blood. Yeah. It's not like an armbar where you should tap because it's like you're going to break my fucking arm.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, well deserved, I thought, for Vic.
Yeah.
Good win. Seems like a good guy. I'm rooting for. I want him to win, to be honest.
I think there's a much better coaching as well from Cruz during that fight. You could hear precise instructions, like 2-2s, then left, jab, then uppercut. And all you heard Faber saying is like, okay, Proctor, you gotta do something. It's like, that's not an instruction.
It's like, this guy needs you, man.
Yeah. It was even worse in the second fight. Is it even worse?
I wonder if Cruz has a bit of an advantage there as well. Because he's a boxer, he can give him precise combos. Want that combo, and he's like, right, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
He's high level. But yeah, man, good luck to him. I'm rooting for him, definitely. Then on to the next
fight
one.
Number 2.
Do you think Justin Lawrence is like a bit of a late developer physically? Because not only does he seem to have acne, it also sounds like his voice is still breaking.
Yeah.
He's like a 14-year-old.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because I noticed it a few weeks ago, but I never thought about the voice. But it blatantly was subconscious. It made me think, yeah, are you just a teenager? Yeah.
Has he lied about his age?
That would be hilarious.
But yeah, to that fight, I mean, having just said that stuff about wrestling earlier, I thought this fight was a perfect example of how if your wrestling is superior to the other guy, you can pretty much neutralize anything. You can neutralize any style, really.
Yeah.
And that was a perfect example of what happened. Lawrence kind of got suckered into the ground game. Well,
I didn't even think he got suckered in. I think he went into it fucking head first. There was so many times where he didn't need to be going down to the floor with him. No. And he still did. And I
just got punished.
Yeah, like, why are you going into his world? Like, come on, make him stand him up. Let's carry on.
Yeah, especially the first round. I can understand if you're tired later on, but he seemed to do it more in the first round than the second. The second round of it, there was a lot more stand up.
Yeah.
And I think that's what just about kept him in the fight. I think got into the third round
because early on in the first round, he tried to take him down. He popped up quick, like he had just really good takedown defense on the very first one.
Yeah.
And even he ended up on the top. And Cruz kept yelling, this was yelled throughout the fight, knee him in the butt. And it's like, you know what? You're right. You don't see enough of that in MMA.
Yeah. Arse knee.
It's always there. That move is always there, man. When you're on top in their guard, you can just do that. And it will after a while.
Yeah. Especially because obviously you're not allowed to knee people in the spine. But then what about the bit where the spine meets the arse? That seems like a bit of a grey area, man.
Yeah.
Just catching a knee in your coccyx. Fuck me, that would hurt.
They need to I'm wondering if there's some kind of submission that would
cheek.
That would focus on that butt area. So you knee it, and then at some point, I'm thinking like a Boston Crab from professional wrestling or something.
You're ripping the cheeks apart so wide that it's just tearing open.
Looking at the ref, this ain't illegal. It's not in the rules.
Just ripping it open.
Literally ripping him a new arsehole. I don't know if that'd count as a TKO or a submission. It's all going on, mate.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so there wasn't any kneeing in the butt.
No, or any new arseholes getting torn. It was just
No.
a pretty dominant performance from Chiesa, really.
Yeah.
Like I say, yeah, second round, Lawrence toughed it out a bit, but then
Justin
when he
looked tired though, that's at the start of the second round.
yeah, they both looked tired going into the third,
Yeah.
and then I think it was Faber shouted it. He said, "Now it's all about heart,"
Yeah.
which I think was accurate. And obviously, Chiesa had the old DDF going on,
The what?
the dead dad factor.
Oh yeah, of course,
Which kind of probably spurred him on. He was not going to quit, you know.
No.
He's got that drive, man.
I mean, that bit where he took that body shot in the second round, Chiesa.
Yeah, fuck, I forgot
That
about
was
that.
the bit where the fight could have changed.
I thought he was done. Yeah, I thought
he was done, and he would have been done if he just went on top of him and started kneeing him in the body, which again they were shouting for, like knee him. Like, no, like that time GSP did. I think it was to Matt Serra maybe on the rematch.
Right.
He was basically like turtling up on the floor in a shell, and GSP's just kneeing the fuck out of his sides to the point the ref had to stop.
Over in Brock Lesnar's another one.
Yeah.
He just went right for where he'd had surgery, just bang, and then just.
I love body shots, man. I really love them, like good ones.
Yeah.
It's like you just never think, right, you can hurt someone that badly from going. You don't always have to aim for the chin. You know what I mean?
I saw Ricky Hatton get a knockout with a body shot once.
Fuck. Just
Who was
ripped
that
him.
against? The guy just crumbled. Yeah,
Oh
just
my
caught him
God.
so perfect, and I think it just popped his liver.
Was it at the back?
Yeah, kind of backstroke.
Yeah.
It's almost like, you know, when someone throws a real strong left hook.
Yeah.
It was just left hook to the body, and you just heard it pop, and the guy
Done.
just went down. I'll tell you the worst one ever was Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
You could hear it. It was like a fucking slap.
Yeah.
When he
the
hit
rib
it,
breaking.
Pat, and the guy just dropped, just crumbled.
Ouch.
I'll try and put those links on Twitter. They're
Yeah. Tweet him. I haven't seen that one.
So yeah.
That's when he had the chance. I gave the first round 10-9 to Chiesa, second round 10-9 to Justin.
Yeah, I forgot about that body shot. But again, that's probably a reason why Brock Lesnar's now gone back to wrestling.
Exactly.
He got hit with one of those, and he was like, "Nah, fuck this,
I'm done."
Can't do it. Whereas Chiesa was.
He was just got hit with a body shot. Hello, Vince. Yeah. I'm coming back.
Fuck this shit. Yeah, whatever. Remember that contract?
Monday. I'll be there Monday.
Just as soon as I finish pissing blood. Whereas Chiesa, that guy, you can tell. I mean, obviously, what he's been through leading up to this fight, and I'm being a bit cheeky saying the dead dad factor, but what he's been through.
That's a lot. It is a lot to go through. Come on.
One thing he's not gonna do is quit.
Yeah.
So that's what got him through, really, in the end.
Yeah, because by round 3, Justin was fucked. Just so knackered. And the way he got, the way he lost this fight, he went into his world when he didn't need to because he was knackered and he just wanted to lay on top of him. And that's it. He just got turned. I've never seen anyone turned like that. So, literally from being in the guard, I'm just going to turn you over. Fuck it.
Yeah, just start punching you in the face.
Finish you. It was quite a fucking exciting finish, though. I was like, even though I wasn't really rooting for him, I was rooting for Justin, but I couldn't help but right, man, you just fucking turn this guy over and it's like punching him in the face and just won.
Fair play to him, man. Good luck to you.
I would have loved to have seen the red teams react. Now when the blue team was just going mental and the camera was on them, I would have just loved it for a second if it just went like that to the red team.
Just see what they're doing. They're just probably all just looking the other way.
Looking away. Looking down, I was like, what's that? Oh shit, I missed it. What happened?
Oh wow. But yeah, man, I mean, you've got to be happy for Chiesa.
Yeah.
Just for what he's been through, so yeah.
So it's 1-1 in this kind of level. It feels like even though it was 5-3 to Faber, it's still kind of level overall. But didn't expect that. Didn't expect Justin to lose. The first fight, I did think Vic could have won that. That wasn't so shocking.
No. And then next week we've got Pichel Saunders. I'm probably picking Pichel.
Pichel, same here, yep.
And Ogle Akinta, got to go Vogel.
Got to go Vogel, man.
UK boy. So.
I keep thinking, when we're going to obviously do UK versus Australia, the smashes.
Oh, fuck yeah.
How hard is it going to be impartial?
I'm not even going to bother.
Fuck
not with Australia.
Yeah. I don't think America realises how strong that rivalry is, because the smashes is like a pun on the Ashes, which is this major cricket thing just between them two.
goes back 130 years.
Yeah, and all the way across the planet.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of countries that aren't even 130 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a fucking rivalry. So yeah, man.
Can't wait.
And yeah, that is going to be amazing. I can't wait for that. So yeah, I don't know who's coaching the Australian team. They don't know yet.
Don't know yet. Don't know.
I reckon it'll end up being Brian Ebersol.
It'll have to be the same weight as the other coach. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but even though Ebersol's American, he's technically, I think he's a naturalised Australian or he's an Australian resident
one of them.
or something like that. So they'll get him in somehow.
I'm not even sure who the English one's going to be though. They're thinking Dan Hardy, but really?
Well, he might not even be in the UFC after 146.
I don't know what it is about Dan Hardy. It feels like he's got a job for life there for some reason.
If he loses again, though, man, that's 4 on the bounce.
I don't know, man. I get the impression they're just going to keep him for some reason. I don't know why. They like Dan Hardy a lot.
It's like his style.
Yeah.
I mean, he does go into war, to be fair.
Yeah. And he's marketable. He's very marketable as well.
Yeah, I mean...
Okay.
I'd like to see Ross Pearson, to be honest.
Is he good enough? It's like he only just won it a few seasons ago.
Ross Pearson's legit, mate.
When did he win it, though?
I rate him very highly.
Yeah, and he's
but I mean, Bisping's done it.
Bisping's done it twice now.
He has coached twice, hasn't he?
Yeah, twice. So like, we need a new English guy to step up soon because Bisping's going to be out.
I mean, and a lot of the other English guys, even though we've got a lot of talent,
they've all faced losses. That's the thing. Yeah. They come in and face one big loss.
Or like, for example, Brad Pickett. He's only had 2 fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
He's really good in WEC.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really had a chance to get going in UFC yet. He's only had 2 fights.
Had one big loss and then 1 win, which is a good win though. Yeah.
Good win. But I don't know, man. I like Ross Pearson. He's looked good to me.
Yeah, I'm struggling to think.
I thought he got robbed against Edson Barbosa, to be honest.
He did a little bit, yeah. I
think because it was in Brazil. If that had been in Vegas...
Yeah, I remember that fight. I do remember that, thinking, like, the crowd's got to play...
the whole way.
And the crowd has to play some influence over the judges. It just has to. It's just...
I mean, he got dropped once, but I remember he got straight back up, man. Yeah, literally got knocked down, straight back on his feet, man. You don't see that very often.
Yeah.
I think but other than that, man, it's you got like Paul Sass.
Yeah. I'm not even that bothered if it's 2 great fighters. What I really want is
beef.
Yeah, I just want beef. That's it. I just want 2 guys who are just going to hate each other.
But there will be in the fucking.
Of course, the contestants will provide the beef. I think.
Because straight away, Australians. I know this is probably biased from this point of view, but from what I know from Australians, they love
up for a fight.
With English people.
They're up for a fight, mate.
And they love running their mouth. They really do. So that's
very proud nation.
That's my prediction for that show. The Aussies are going to run their mouth. It's all going to kick off. It's going to be great. So yeah, man. That's about all I got for this week.
Okay, yeah.
Usual shout-outs.
Yeah,
Rear Naked Chat on Twitter. Rear Naked Channel on YouTube. You are watching right now. rearnakedchat@gmail.com.
Yep.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
waste any more time. It's been half an hour. Let's end this shit.
Checks with my mouth that my ass can't catch. Yeah, peace and love.
Cool.
On half an hour. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
That's it. Sorry if you're bored.